What is going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with my Browns Ravens Week 18 game recap as the Browns lose to the Ravens today by a final score of 35-10, and they finish their season with a record of 3-14, including one win on the road, which of course came all the way back in Week 2 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So yeah, season's over, right? And I'll say this based off of expectations and stuff, this season was without a doubt probably the worst season us Browns fans have experienced. I'd say it's even worse than the 1-31 Browns teams because those teams had really no expectations. This Browns team was expected to make it back to the playoffs, right? We were expecting this team to be a threat for the AFC North. And instead, we're here talking about draft picks, right? Instead of talking about playoff seeding, we're talking about draft picks. Didn't think I'd have to care about mock drafts, but here we are again, like the good old days, right? Browns changed their face masks back to white like they had in the early 2000s when they first came back. And look at that. They reverted back to the early 2000s Browns, where they can't win a damn game. I mean, heck, these last few weeks, they made offense look like brain science or something, rocket science, brain surgery. Like, damn, bro, could barely score a freaking touchdown. It's freaking crazy, man. Like, at first I thought, wait, is this year's team? Or are they trolling us by playing old highlights from the early 2000s? Like, damn, bruh. Like, this team used to be able to score pretty easily, right? With Kevin running things. This team couldn't even find the damn end zone the last few weeks. Man, giving me flashbacks to the 1-31 days for sure. Those are flashbacks I do not want to experience. Right? Giving me PTSD out here. Damn. But what's up with that? Now, before I get into looking at the stats, I do have a couple things to talk about. As Adam Schefter tweeted out earlier, right after the game ended, actually, and I quote, with the loss, of course, Browns now have clinched a top 3 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Now, is it a foregone conclusion that either Shador, Cam Ward, or Travis Hunter are going to be Browns? No, no, because we know the Browns, they could easily trade out of the top 3, especially if they end up with a top 2 pick, because a lot of teams would give up a lot of draft capital and probably some players to jump up into the top 2 to take either Shador or Cam. You already know. Now, if we end up with the 3rd pick, I mean, we could essentially get the best non QB available, whether it's Travis Hunter, maybe they go Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, Kelvin Banks if they want to go O line. There's some really good players that would be available at 3. And of course, the Browns could easily end up with the first overall pick again. Yep, these next 24-ish hours are going to be very interesting. Yep, because if the Titans and the Patriots win, the Browns get the number 1 overall pick. And facing the Bills and the Texans. So we'll see what happens. But it'll be interesting to watch. And then how about this from Daniel Oifusi, who quickly became arguably my favorite beat writer this year, as I've said many times. And I quote, Jerry Jeudy just set the record for most catches in a season in Browns history. His 90 catches surpasses Ozzie Newsome on the all-time list. And this was Jerry Jeudy's first season as a Brown. And there were times where it's almost like they forgot he existed. But then once Jameis took over at quarterback, Jerry Jeudy was his favorite target. How funny is it, though? Deshaun was the quarterback. They didn't really go to Jerry Jeudy that much. Jameis takes over. Like I said, Jerry was Jameis's favorite target. And then they take Jameis out and put DTR in, and oh, look, they forget about Jerry again. But yeah, Bailey Zappi today, not great at all. He did throw a touchdown, though, which is good. And I believe with that touchdown today, he actually tied DTR in career touchdown passes as a Cleveland Brown with one, which is sad because DTR's been here now, what, 2 years? And Bailey's played in one game. So sad, man. Dude's been here 2 years and he has one touchdown pass. I can't even. Oh my god. Bro, not gonna lie. I don't think DTR is going to be here next year. Just a feeling. Actually, did play a little tonight, too. He went 2 for 3, 13 yards. And there was one pass that had me convinced this dude's not going to be here next year. He had Elijah Moore wide open, put in front of him. Only DTR could have missed that pass. Anybody with a functioning throwing arm, Jew, you know, a dude with a messed up throwing arm could probably hit that pass, but not DTR, right? And Bailey Zappi went 16 of 31, 170 yards, one touchdown, 2 picks. And he did get sacked one time. On the ground, 19 carries, 56 yards, mainly from Deontay Foreman, who had 10 for 27. And then someone named Jacob Cabote, who I swore was a created player or something, 5 carries, 24 yards. DTR had 2 for 3, and Bailey Zappi had 2 for 2. And then, of course, through the air, Jerry Jeudy, 6 receptions, 63 yards, no touchdowns. Jordan Akins got in the end zone, 6 receptions, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Elijah Moore, 3 for 36. Jacob Cabote again had 1 for 15. Deontay Foreman, 1 for 8. And then Blake Whiteheart, 1 for 1. Yeah. And then no sacks, so that means Miles did not take over the sack lead. So we'll see what Hendrickson does. But yeah. To be fair though, I mean Caden Davis looked decent at kick return. 3 returns for 107 yards. Not bad. Wow. But yeah, I'm just happy this season's over. I really am. But now, looking at the coaching staff, right? I'm actually going to pull up the coaching staff right now and I'm going to go over the coaches that I think are probably out of here come maybe Monday, as early as Monday. Might even hear some names tomorrow, which would be nice, get the people talking. Let's take a look here, all right? 2024 season. Okay. Let's see here. And I'm also going to give you a little talk about our draft picks and how they did this video here. So, of course, you look at their free agent signings. Honestly, looking at what we did in free agency, that could tell you all you needed to know about how they viewed this season because look at the names that they signed in free agency. It pretty much went depth guys in free agency. Hakeem Adeniji, Brian Allen, Tony Brown, Devin Bush Jr., Deontay Foreman, Justin Hardy, Jordan Hicks was probably one of the better names signed. He was actually good when he was on the field. Naheem Hines didn't even play a snap. Tyler Huntley, cut him after training camp. Jermaine Ifedi, Quentin Jefferson, Giovanni Ricci, Jameis, and Cade York. Oh, brother. Man. And then the draft, Michael Hall, he was really good when he was on the field. Zach Zinter didn't play much. Jamari Thrash didn't play much. Bookie Watson didn't play much. Miles Harden, didn't play much. And Jawan Briggs was actually decent. But again, didn't play much. The only guy who really played a lot was Michael Hall. And he was suspended for a little while too. He came back and he made plays. Yeah, he was good. Now, looking at the coaching staff, right? It's really hard to say what they're going to do when it comes to the coaching staff, but I could definitely see some changes going down, especially with the position coaches, right? I could see them really shaking up the position coach tree on this team because, like, I mean, come on, man, that's freaking crazy what they have. So, offensive coaches, Dorsey, I think he stays, but I wouldn't be shocked if they cut him loose. Bill Musgrave, don't know much about what he's done. I mean, I guess he was all right. I mean, I don't really know much. He was here last year when the offense was good, so I don't know if he leaves. Deuce Staley, to be fair, I mean, his running back room didn't really have much to work with. I mean, Nick Chubb was out the majority of the season, and Jerome Ford, all right, he's a solid number two, number three back, but nah, I'm not gonna yell at or get on Deuce Staley too much because this room was beat up from the beginning. Chad O'Shea and Kelly Brownson. Boy, what do we do with you two? I can see them getting rid of both of those two. Lemmy Reese, I think, sticks around. Andy Dickerson. You know my thoughts on him. Roy Istvan. Same thing. Mainly Andy Dickerson. I don't need to say anything else. You already know my thoughts. Nick Charlton, Ashton Grant, and Nemo Washington. Nah, they don't really have much of a role. Not going to get on them about it. Offensive assistant, run game specialist, quarterbacks, and then Bill Willis, diversity coaching fellow. Yeah, I'm not going to get on them about it. Defensive staff, Schwartz, I don't see him going anywhere. Jacques Césaire, D-line's actually solid. Gordon Thomas, assistant D-line coach. Jason Tarver, linebacker coach. Brandon Lynch, cornerbacks coach. Yo, Brandon, how about you have your dudes focus less on dancing and actually making plays? Because we only had, what, 4 interceptions all year? 4 interceptions. I think we had like a dozen dropped interceptions, though. So, okay, I'm not going to get on him too much about that. Um, Ephraim Banda, the safeties coach. Safeties were all right for the most part, I guess. Defensive assistant Zach Dunn and defensive quality control Jeff Anderson. They did all right. The defense wasn't even the problem. It was the offensive side. The defense kept us in some of those games, and then the offense just couldn't get anything going. Yeah, strength and conditioning. Sean Holes, Bucko. You need to change your ways or something because these injuries are ridiculous. Jackson, strength and conditioning. Come on, really? Josh Kristovich, assistant. Yeah, like the entire strength and conditioning staff might need to be evaluated because these soft injuries are getting out of hand, right? Yep, big time. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Raven Trone, Boba. Bye bye. I think you gone, bro. You out of here. Bye bye. It's a nice little 2 year run for you, but bye bye. See ya. I think he's probably the one coordinator that gets yanked. I think Ken and Jim are still safe for now, unless Ken gets yanked. But I think Jim is definitely safe because his defense was solid. Injuries just beat the guys up. But what I want to see is I want to see Andrew Berry go out there and be aggressive, like his ass is on fire. Because man, um, like I said, in free agency, essentially went after depth guys, right? But now there's some holes that opened up, especially at number 2 pass rusher. You got rid of Zadarius Smith, right? How are you going to address number 2 pass rusher? In free agency or the draft? Maybe both. Maybe you get one and then you draft one, right? There's some good names already in the draft. I'm thinking Abdul Carter for sure. That would be dope, right? And for anyone wondering about the undrafted free agents, none of them really did anything. Winston Reed did play a handful of snaps. He did have a monster ass hit, I think, in one game. Which game was it that he had that monster ass hit? Was it the Jaguar game? On the kickoff. Yeah. He laid the hell out of the return man. And then the return man fumbled. We got the ball, but because Dustin Hopkins had, for some reason, wandered past midfield, that negated the kick. That's right. Yeah, that's what it was. I think he was the only one that really played significant snaps this year. I don't think anybody else did. No, nobody else really did besides Winston. So yeah, we'll see what the Browns do in terms of the coaching staff and stuff. And if they do fire anybody, I'll definitely do videos keeping track of who they interview and eventually who they hire. Now, getting into my post game observations from this game, because I know y'all have been waiting. As Jamar Chase just scored a touchdown, of course. Post game observations. Number one, Browns defense played good. Believe it or not, this game was actually close for about 3 or so quarters. And then they took over with 2 touchdowns late. But yeah, it was actually uncomfortably close because I thought, no way the Browns are going to mess up the tank by winning, right? Nah, no, they went through with the tank. And it's so funny because you could tell very early on this team was dedicated to the tank. Literally, first the game, right? Bailey Zappi, first play, nice pass, right? Big gain, first down. What'd they do the next 3? Run the ball. It's like they saw Zappi do that. It's like, no, 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 no. We can't have that. No, 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 no. We're not trying to win. Run it the next 3 times. Yeah. I was actually kind of shocked they scored a touchdown, to be honest. Number 2, the offense was as you'd expect with Bailey Zappi and virtually like nobody good. I mean, they had Jerry Jeudy. Ooh, Elijah Moore. Ooh. I mean, the offensive line was actually healthy, which is nice to finish the season for the most part, besides you know who. But yeah, the offense was about as you'd expect, right? And then finally, thank God this season is over. And now we don't have to worry about the Browns again until March for free agency. I guess if you want to talk about the combine, but yeah, in terms of like major stuff, free agency in March, if they even do anything, we'll see how they manipulate the cap to try to open up space to maybe sign some dudes. I don't know what they're going to do. They're probably going to go for depth guys again, most likely. Thanks a lot, Deshaun. That damn contract. Of course, it'll be interesting to see what they do at the quarterback position for next year. There's been a lot of talk about them going after Kirk Cousins. There's been too much talk for them to not do it, which means they probably will. And I can only imagine how Browns fans are going to react to that. Right, seeing the tweet saying the Browns are signing Kirk Cousins. It really depends on the years and how much, how long and how much. It's probably only be like maybe like a 2 or so year deal, because I think the Falcons are paying most of his contract. So yeah, I don't think it'd be for much. Maybe veteran minimum or something small, right? But yeah, we'll see what they do at the quarterback position. I'm sure they're going to be drafting one too. So I talked about it before. They're probably going to have a veteran quarterback, Deshaun, and then a rookie compete. And imagine Deshaun starts next year. Oh, God. If Deshaun Watson starts next year, I swear to God, this dude better be like the next coming of like Michael Vick or something, like to the fact where he better play his best ball ever. Because I tell you what, if he starts, the first interception he throws, Browns fans might legit storm the Berea facility and drag Andrew Berry out of his office. And they'd send a message to Jimmy Haslam saying, if you're not going to fire him, we will for you. We're going to drag him out of the building by his feet, put him on a bus, send him to the unemployment line. Oh my God, they better not. And the thing is, I used to be kind of like a pro Deshaun guy, but seeing him this year, no, no, can't even tolerate it. He stinks. Do you imagine the amount of pressure that would be on Deshaun if he played next year? He'd have the entire fan base at his throat, ready to freaking throw him into the Cuyahoga River. Damn. Yeah, we'll see what they do at quarterback. We'll see what they do at the other positions. Of course, coaching staff too. You know, who are they keeping? Who are they getting rid of? We'll find out soon. Now, talking about my game MVP from today, and believe it or not, I do have someone, and that is Jordan Akins because he scored a touchdown. Yeah, I think that broke a streak of what, a couple games without a touchdown. How sad is it, right? This offense used to be able to score touchdowns with relative ease. All of a sudden, they couldn't figure out how to get in the end zone. It was like rocket science. Like, come on. There was even times where like they'd be in the red zone looking to score, and then nope, like that freaking bungle game, right? Big ass run by Jerome Ford gets us inside like the 5. You give it to Deontay Foreman, oh, fumble, of course. But yeah, as far as this season compared to the others, I would definitely say this season was way worse than the 1 in 31 years based off of expectations alone. Those 2 years, we really had no expectations, right? Whatever happened is like, oh, wow. And then, of course, we saw back to back ass seasons, 1 win in 2 years. Ugh. This season, we won three games when everyone was picking us to win 9+. I mean, Browns fans were thinking we were going to go to the playoffs and be a threat for the AFC North. Instead, here we are. Talk about draft picks. Man, I do not want to experience this next year. And I know Miles doesn't either. Miles pretty much gave the front office an ultimatum like, hey, I'm not trying to do no damn rebuild. If you're trying to do a rebuild, I'm out of here. Right? We better be serious this offseason. Because I'm not trying to see this again. That's a dude who experienced 1 in 31. Well, at least the 116 part of it. Oh man. But yeah, so Jordan Akins is my game MVP. If I had to name a season MVP, it'd probably be Miles, maybe. But yeah. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. And I really enjoyed streaming every game, even though it was painful the last few weeks, but I did it. I tried to. Oh, man. I hope next year is better than this, man, because I cannot take this anymore. Oh, my God. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do in terms of the coaching staff and the roster. And, yeah. Wow. This was not fun. At least we got the Cavs, though. And the Buckeyes, of course. So, with that being said, thanks to everybody. Shout out to everybody for watching my streams every week and dealing with my shenanigans and stuff. And, yep, on to the playoffs. And this is going to be a long and probably loud offseason for the Browns. I expect them to be aggressive, trying to make this team better. Because, again, the pressure's on, right? You either get better or you're probably gone if you're AB. Because you know how Jimmy is. right? You know how Jimmy Haslam is. He's always got that itchy trigger finger. It doesn't matter if he just extended you. It's essentially just like, you know, you keep this up. You cannot lay off the gas with him as your owner because if you do, you're gone. So, being said, guys, I will see you all tomorrow for a good football game. I'll be doing Lions and Vikings. So, hope to see you guys there tomorrow night. With that being said, go Browns. And I'll see you guys for the Browns. Oh, God, when will the next time I'll be doing a Browns video? If they make any changes on the staff, I'll be doing videos for that. Roster wise, yeah, probably not until March. So, see you guys then. I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go, Browns. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.